So I don't know if I mentioned it or not, Startup Summit or hashtag Startup Summit is the one that we're using for today. A lot of you have already seen that on Twitter, seen a lot of activity there. If you want to put pictures or any words of wisdom that you're finding, feel free to do that. It's no secret that in a startup, you've got to have customers, right? And it helps if those customers are absolute fanatics about your product. It helps if those fanatics go and tell other people about your product and they find it extremely useful. It's easier said than done for any of you who have been involved in a startup before. But our next speaker has been able to do just that. He's going to share some insights on how he's been able to do that. Forrest Walden is the founder of Iron Tribe Fitness. Many of you have probably already heard of Iron Tribe. There's a location right around the corner. And he actually built his first one-on-one personal training business, Fitness Together, to 55 locations in 3 states as a master franchisee of that company. He sold that back to the corporate office in 2010 to start over with his own group personal training concept, which is Iron Tribe Fitness, which started in his garage. Iron Tribe currently has 6 corporately owned locations in Birmingham, and Forrest launched its franchise model in April 2012. They already have 29 franchised Iron Tribe franchise locations in Tuscaloosa, Huntsville, Atlanta, Nashville, Raleigh, and Charlotte. I talked to him earlier. It's not stopping there. They're continuing to add more and more locations. This is an extremely fast-growing business. It's happening headquartered here in Birmingham, Alabama, so a great sign for us. Really excited about having Forrest here. Aside from being an outstanding entrepreneur, he's just a phenomenal guy, somebody that you should get to know. So please welcome Forrest Walden from Iron Tribe.
Jeremy, thank you for that great introduction that I wrote. So that was pretty good. Went well. Excited to be with you guys today. Tony, Jonathan, thanks for the introduction and the invitation to come speak. Love to talk about the brand, Iron Tribe Fitness. I'm passionate about it. You'll definitely pick up on that this morning. My partners have joined me. Appreciate them coming. Jim, my COO, and Tom, my Vice President of Development. And I will be referring to them throughout the presentation as well, because they've been a huge part of building what we've created here based in Birmingham, Iron Tribe Fitness. So, my goal today is to give you takeaways. Definitely give you stuff that you can take and immediately implement into your business. And so, my Twitter handle's on the screen. If you see a takeaway that especially impacts you, tweet me, let me know about it. Got my guys back at the office. They're going to take everybody who tweets us, throw it into a pot, and do a drawing. And we're going to give away a 101 membership at any of my 6 stores here in Birmingham. So that's just a little value for you. We'd love to hear back from you and what's been impactful for you. So a little bit about me. I am been married for 13 years, born and raised right here in Birmingham. The only time I've been out of Birmingham was when I was at Auburn for 4 years. I cheered at Auburn and was fortunate enough to meet my wife there. We cheered together. We now have 4 beautiful kids, and they are the joy of my life. And so how this whole thing started was I went to my wife and I said, I want to build a gym in the garage. And she's like, you're crazy. You have studios all over the city. And I said, I know, but I want to do group workouts. I want to use functional movement. I want it to be competition-based. And I can't do that at the gym, and I can't do that in my studios, so can I convert the garage? She said, well, as long as I can still park, you can convert the garage. And so I invited a few of my friends, and before I knew it, those friends turned into a few more friends. And at one point, I think we had 17 people working out in the garage, a morning class, an evening class, and I wasn't doing it for money. It wasn't even a business at that point. It was just for fun, and I wanted them to come, so I had the competition. So at one point, like I said, 17 people in the garage. My wife said, all right, that's enough. We can't have any more people. This fight club's getting out of hand. And I said, well, it is, but something magical was happening in that garage. And I saw these guys who were getting in phenomenal shape, girls were getting in phenomenal shape, and we were building community. We were cooking out together, we were hanging out, and I was like, man, this is what I want to do. And so, as Jeremy said, I sold everything I had built at that point back to the corporate office. Okay. And launched the Iron Tribe business. And so I felt pretty good coming out of the garage. Obviously, we founders and crazy startups have a good history of garage-based businesses, whether it's HP, Disney, or Apple. So I thought, okay, this could start from a garage and be a great dream. And so the first thing I had to do was establish the prototype. I had a vision, I knew what I wanted to create, but I had to go out there and build a model and prove that I could build a group-based fitness gym that could work and be scalable. So the first location opened in Homewood, this old building on Central, completely run down. Renovated that, brought in graphic design, architect, great web team, and created the brand that you guys now know as Iron Tribe. And February of 2010, that first location opened and really exceeded every dream I had for it. We literally sold out membership slots within 8 months, and I knew we were onto something special. And the main reason I knew it was the feedback from the customers, the referrals, the enthusiastic embracing of everything that we were doing. And so I knew it was time to scale the model. So what I did was, when I looked at duplicating, I knew I had to have an operator for the second location. That's where Jim came on board. He was a client at that first store, and we partnered up. He opened the second ever location in January of 2011 in 280. And we were able to repeat our success at the 280 gym. Had a phenomenal start. To this day, it's one of our strongest locations with the strongest community. And so after about 4 months of Jim operating that store, we were already over 100 clients. I pulled him out and said, all right, now it's time to scale the model and build the franchise office. So we started looking for a building that we could do that, to start building a scalable model. And we found this old rundown building on 3rd Avenue just down the road. We purchased it and converted it, and it looks like this today. It's a beautiful location. It doesn't seem like you can see it real well. I apologize for that. But the right side is our third location, our gym. The left side is our corporate office. And that was so important to me because I wanted to be connected to the product. I'm a fitness guy. I need to hear the music pumping, the weights dropping, the clients running outside my window, especially when I'm working on stuff that I may not necessarily enjoy. A pro forma, a budget, things like that. I can push away from my desk, walk over, step into a class, shake a customer's hand, and it just energizes me. It gives me that passion to keep doing, to keep pushing forward and develop and build what we're building. So that was the third location. The very next month, we purchased this building in Crestline. This is the fourth location right across from Mafiosa's in Crestline. Phenomenal location for us. We had, I think the number was 65 customers coming over the very first week we were open, just from referrals from our clients at the Homewood 280 and downtown gym. And we were building up our manager in a manager's meeting. He said, hey, man, don't give me any credit. Give the credit to the other 3 gyms. I'm just taking orders. These guys are excited that we're coming to town. And that's the kind of word of mouth and brand building that we've been able to leverage through clients who are excited about the product. End of last year, leased this space in Hoover. We just opened it January of this year, completely renovated it. Beautiful 5,000 square foot gym, right off between Warner Road and 31. So that's our 5th location. And then at the beginning of this year, bought the old Leather Creations building on Highway 150. So this 7,000 square foot building just got converted. We kind of nicknamed it the Taj Mahal because it's our best and nicest yet, but they're off to an incredible start, opened last month. And so that's what we've done here at the corporate level in Birmingham. And this is what Birmingham looks like right now. We have 6 stores, 6 locations sold. We have a couple more territories we know we're going to develop over the next several months. And we have really focused on repeating the success of that first store through systemization, through tools, through processes, and through people. But we weren't only building corporate stores, we were also building our franchise model the entire time. So we've been running parallel paths, but before we could launch the franchise model, we had to prove that we had a prototype, that it could be duplicated, and that it was a scalable model. So April of last year, we launched our franchise prototype, and we had a goal that we could sell 10 franchises in the first year. And it was aggressive, and we were nervous if we were going to hit it, and we actually did not hit it. We didn't sell 10. We ended up selling 32 franchises in the first 12 months. So remarkable growth, but that's really not even the most amazing part. To me, the most amazing part is of those 32, 31 were purchased internally by our own clients in the Birmingham market who came to us and said, you know what, this brand has changed my life. I love it. I want to go and help people like you've helped me, like you've helped my family, and take the Tribe business model to a new market. So that's where our growth predominantly has come from, and I'll introduce you to a few of those here. All the way on the right, Richard Martins, he was a coach. He managed our second location after I pulled Jim out, and he partnered with his brother, who was a client at the 280 gym. They purchased 4 locations in Nashville, Tennessee, and actually was the very first franchisee open in Brentwood, November of 2012. And then also, Jamie Warren on the far right here. He's a business owner here in town, owns an advertising agency. He's been a longtime friend of mine. He actually started in my garage. That's how far back we go. And he came to me and said, man, I love what I'm doing, but this brand has, again, it's impacted me. I want to take it to Nashville. So he purchased 4 locations in Nashville. They just opened their first store February of this year. Actually set the all-time record for pre-sales for a new gym, beat all of our records. They're off to a phenomenal start. And so this is what Nashville looks like now. We've got one group who purchased 4 locations in central Nashville that they're developing, another group who purchased 4 more in southern Nashville that they're developing. And this is what we're starting to see in city after city and market after market of our clients taking our model, us helping them partner with investors and or operators depending on their needs, and putting their stake down in cities across, so far, the southeastern United States. But as Jeremy alluded to, we're starting to see growth outside the southeast. But for now, 3 in Naples, Florida. That's as far south as we are. And as far north, kind of Nashville, Raleigh, Charlotte, all in the same line there. But Montgomery, Huntsville, Atlanta, and several other markets sold. Pending in Denver, pending in Missouri, very close to being closed. So we're starting to branch out outside of the southeast, which is really exciting. So where it stands now, 6 corporate stores, 32 franchise locations sold, at least 8 that I know of that are pending, Tom, hopefully. And we have goals. We set these goals from the very beginning to sell 100 locations in the first 3 years, which would be by 2015, and to have 300 open by 2017. So very aggressive goals. When I first shared this with the team, they thought I was crazy, and I might be, but they rallied around the cause, and thankfully we are right on track to hit our numbers as of today. So one thing that commonly comes up when I tell the story is how did you do this? How did you build it? How did you scale it? How were you able to maintain consistency? How have you not grown too fast and exploded in the process? And so I thought about that a lot. And in fact, I wrote a book. And the book's about 95% done, and just wrote out the story of, garage hobby to franchise empires, the tagline, and just everything we did to grow the model. And so I'm going to share some of what's in that book today and really just alliterate the word tribe, because I think if you're here and you're a startup, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you have your own tribe. You have your own niche. And everything that I've learned, everything that we've applied to our business model is just as applicable to you, your business model, and your niche. So, the first thing I want to talk about is teamwork. Obviously, I'm not coaching classes right now. I'm not managing any of the locations. In fact, I'm not even in operations anymore. And so in order to do that, I have to have an incredible team. And so it started with that very first location when these guys didn't even know really what all we were trying to accomplish, but from the very beginning, I was selling to them. I mean, before that Homewood gym even opened. So we're gonna have 8 locations in Birmingham, we're gonna franchise the model, and we're gonna go national. And I know they didn't believe me because they told me since then, I thought you were crazy, but I was excited and thought, well, maybe we'll do 2 gyms if he's talking that big. And so from the beginning, painting the picture and rallying the people around me to accomplish more than we ever thought possible. And then as the locations grew, we opened the second store and the staff started to grow. They started to believe it. They're like, man, we can really do this. Richard Martin's right in the middle of this picture, and he became the first staff member who went from coach to manager to franchisee, that sent a loud message to the rest of the people that, man, there's a real career opportunity here. I could really own my own business. And then we opened the third location, and the staff grew even more. And what we started to experience were people moving in from all over the country to relocate to Birmingham because they wanted a career opportunity. And they saw they could coach full-time if that's what they wanted to do, which is kind of rare in my industry. Or they could manage one of our locations, or maybe they could even go and open one of their own franchise locations like Richard did. And there's even the option, if they're good and they really want to excel and come over on the corporate side, they can support our franchisees and work with us in the corporate office. So they started to see that, and that's the story I'm constantly telling so that I can attract A players and great team. So this is where we stand today. You can't see that at all. It's kind of a dark picture. There's over 30 people at our Christmas dinner last year. So the staff has continued to grow, and that's where we put our emphasis. Because in my business, the brand is the people. It's a service. We're not serving a product. So they don't experience me much on a day-to-day basis. They experience that coach on the floor. So the guys have to be bought in. They have to over-deliver every single day. And so I had to be intentional about meeting with my staff. And at first it was easy. We were in one or two locations. We just gather on the gym floor and have a staff meeting. But as we grew, I learned I had to be really intentional about bringing them in to what was going on. So we met at least once a month. I'd rent out a local hotel conference room, and we'd talk about everything that was going on in the big picture and always correlate it back to what they do every day. And two of my favorite numbers to correlate to my coaches were the average spend per workout and the average spend per month for every client that walks in our doors. And really tying it back to, are you giving value every single time that person hits the door to come in Iron Charlotte Fitness? Is there value every time that bank account gets debited, where it's the last thing they would cut from the budget item? And then let me tell you how what you're doing on a day-to-day basis is allowing us to work on the big picture. And so we had to develop a process where we would screen the people coming in and make sure we had a dialed-in recruitment process. I want to know, by the time someone gets to an interview, what's their Colby score? What's their Myers-Briggs? How do their 10 competencies and skills line up to our best people, so that when we plug people in, the old Collins principle, get the right people on the bus, but then put them in the right seats. We knew we had to have a systematic plan to get there. But not only with our clients, not only with our managers and coaches, but with our franchisees as well. So here's a picture of some of my franchisees as a local workout we did at the grand opening of the Hoover store. We got to make sure that as we partner, we have the right brand ambassadors. They have the right DNA, and that they can go out and represent the brand and grow their own tribe the way that we want them to grow it. So teamwork has been absolutely huge. It's one of my number one focuses of building the team, maintaining the team, casting vision for the team, getting the wrong players off the team. All right, so the next is relationships. And I've already alluded to the fact that we're not a product. We're a high-touch, high-service business. And so for us, everything has to be about the relationships. What I learned is the power of the group, the camaraderie. When you get clients in the group environment working out together, the synergistic effect of that is tangible and it's powerful. And so we had to orchestrate the whole model around getting people who may be intimidated to come through our doors. In fact, if I were to ask many of you this morning, you would say, yeah, I've heard of Iron Tribe, it's crazy, I could never do that. But I'll show you some clients today from 8 years old to 73 years old who are doing it when they never thought they could. And we had to engineer that in, where they graduate from a beginner's class, they get a diploma, they realize they accomplished more than they ever thought they could, and it gives them confidence to start the regular program. But then we work in one-on-one elements as well, whether it's a coach's assessment where they sit down with my coach in a one-on-one environment, or even if it's a handwritten note from one of my coaches. We make sure that every client gets touched personally, somehow, some way every month. Could be a Facebook message, could be an email, could be a handwritten note. We want to take that personal relationship, even though it's expressed in the group, and make sure they have that one-on-one relationship with their coach. And then We do things like workshops where they get to come in on the weekends and work on some of their skills. We do events where we get all of the clients together at a specific location. And what's so great about that is you may have someone who's a 6 a.m. client and never comes at any time but 6 a.m. and now they're working out, hanging out with a 6 p.m. client. And they didn't know they were going to the same location. Or maybe they've never met before, and now that they have new friends. And I can't tell you the number of people who said, Forrest, since I've joined Iron Tribe, I've made my best friends at your gym. Or they'll say, I've done more business through the people I've met at Iron Tribe. This has actually become a self-funding program, either because my insurance premiums dropped so much or because I did business with some people that I met at the gym. So that's a great story to hear, and that's intentional. We have to continue to foster that. And then we'll do competitions where we bring all 6 gyms together. And that's really powerful because now you have someone from 150 in the Hoover side of the world meeting someone from Mountain Brook that they probably never would have met, and they're forming a relationship, and they have the common bond of the Iron Tribe experience. So that's been huge for us, really getting people to come together to compete and to build relationships, both with staff and customer to customer. And what I hear invariably, once people are in the program after a couple of months, is like, man, I have not felt like this since, insert what was ever the hardest thing they've ever done, since Marines, since high school football. I've even heard since band camp. Like whatever was the hardest thing, brings back that feeling of, man, I am a competitive person. I miss that side of me. And that spills over into every aspect of your life. So we focused on our team, we focused on relationships, and what those relationships have accomplished are amazing transformations. I can give you slide after slide of clients who have literally changed their life. Whether it's Monica, who's lost 30 pounds and got back into pageant shape, or Ruby, who at 8 years old learned that exercise could actually be fun, or Earl Watley, 73 years old, who would not dare miss a Monday, Wednesday, or a Friday class. It's amazing to see. Or Mark Shoemaker, a local successful business owner who lost 30 pounds, changed his life, and actually ended up purchasing the rights to Raleigh, North Carolina. So that's what that has led to. So we focused on teamwork, we focused on relationships, but we've also focused on information. And that may sound a little interesting coming from a fitness guy, but what we've learned is no matter where you first learn about us, whether it's in a billboard or it's online, you click on a banner ad, or maybe you go to our Google page and you see our reviews and how many 5-star reviews we have and what are people saying about us. We've learned that information is the most powerful thing that we can be marketing with. So what we do through space ads that you've undoubtedly seen, direct mail, whether it's a postcard or a direct mail sequence, maybe even a 3D mail package with an item inside to make sure you get it open. All of these things are just ways that we can get to drive our customers online to start learning more about us. So if it's on our main site, we want to give away our 9 key movement video series. Start to learn what we do. Let's demystify the process. You don't have to be some crazy triathlete or bodybuilder and all these misconceptions out there. Learn what we do. And as we start to send you our message, we'll introduce you to our clients. And we'll start to share social proof of who we are and what we do. Or if you go to our prospect site, Iron Tribe 101, again, we're going to engage with you. We're going to tell you stories. This one's Erin King and how she conquered cancer and how the program meant so much to her as she was going through chemotherapy. And if you give us your name and your email, then we're going to send you 18 emails over the next month. We're going to introduce you to more stories. We're going to introduce you to our program and our videos and things like that. And then at some point, we'll ask for a little bit more information. And if you give us your mailing address, then we're going to send things to the mail, free reports that are loaded with social proof, a thumb drive that has some of our most watched and most requested videos on it. And so what we've seen through that, through giving out information, is people come in pre-sold. A lot of times they already know our names. They know our staff names. They've watched the videos. They come in and they know what they want. It's completely changed the sales process for us. So information has worked great externally, but it's also worked phenomenally internally. So whether it's our iPhone app where a customer can schedule themselves, look to see what the workout is the next day, do travel workouts on the road, watch our web-based TV show, Tribe by TV. We want to create ways that they can engage with us the other 23 hours of the day, and not just the hour that they're in the gym. And so to that end, we send out a monthly newsletter, a physical monthly newsletter, like we put a stamp on it and everything. Because in this day and age, there's so much junk in your email box, and I don't think anybody reads email newsletters anymore. We want to show up in your mailbox, we want to make stars out of our athletes, tell their stories, talk about the events that are going on, and continue to build that community. Talked about our Tribe Vibe TV show, over 70,000 views now. Jim hosts it every week, and it's another way for us to engage with the clients, brag on the results that they're getting, talk about the competitions that we have. We average 600 or 700 views a week. With our 1,200 active clients, most people are watching it every week, and we're proud of that. But we've not only done it at the store level, we've done it at the franchise level too. We built a membership site where our franchisees, as soon as they sign on, every single process, system, or tool in our business, there's a video shot on it, there's a checklist, there's a PDF, and they can execute the model flawlessly. Whether it's coaching a class or running an event, it's all on our membership site. So information is really at the core of what we've done. The next thing we've done is we've focused on belief. Now obviously we believe in what we do. We work out really hard, we stay in shape, we lead from the front on that. If you came to one of my staff meetings, there'd invariably be a workout afterwards. It's possibly the best team building you can ever do. But that's not really what I'm talking about. Belief to me means believing in something that is bigger than yourself. And so we've had the opportunity to start 2 fundraisers that have gone national. This one, I don't know how much you can see, it was called WAD for Warriors. We partnered with a group called Team Red, White, and Blue, who gives money back to our wounded warriors. And the first time we ran it, we raised $28,000. There's a wounded warrior over here doing the workout with us with his fake leg. I mean, powerful stuff. We ran it last year, even bigger, raised over $30,000. And Team Red, White, and Blue was so impressed with the initiative and what we did, they asked us to package it up and help them take it national. So last year, right alongside us, 100 other gyms ran the WAD for Warriors program. Not Iron Tribe gyms, just gyms across the country. This year, they expect over 1,000 to be run. Really, really proud of that. And the other thing we started was a workout or a fundraiser called WAD for Water. WAD stands for Workout of the Day. I'm co-founder of a nonprofit ministry called Never Thirst, and we drill wells in Africa and India. And so last summer, we had an event, it was out at Railroad Park. We raised, at the WAD for Water event, one Saturday morning, $100,000. And that money went straight to the ground, and we have since put in 40 wells in the hardest to reach, poorest areas of India. And to date, in just over 3 years of being open, we've raised just over $250,000. I was going to show you a quick video from India, but we don't have sound, so I won't show you that. But it's amazing how you take a workout, you get your tribe to rally around a cause, and then they get to see the tangible proof of what their money did. And so we brought back video, and in fact in September, I'm leading a team of our athletes from Iron Tribe over there to go see those villages and be able to see. I'll take them to villages who don't have clean water, then we'll go visit villages who receive water through their giving, and that's powerful. So there's a lot of reasons why to give back, but I think if you tie it back to what we're talking about, building your tribe, people want to be connected with something bigger than themselves. And when you give them that outlet, when you give your niche, your tribe, the ability to connect not only with you, not only with others, but things that are impacting the world, it takes their experience and their buy-in to a whole nother level. So the final thing I want to talk about, the E in tribe, is expert status. I think you should strive to be an expert in your niche, that you should be the one your customers look to. Whenever there's a question about whatever it is in your industry, they should think of you first. So Jim and I have had the opportunity to win several awards over the last couple of years. We've been able to do a lot of public speaking, spoken really all over the country. And one of the things that has led to, and again, a video I was going to show you, but We won the Ultimate Marketers of the Year from a company called Infusionsoft. And one of the things they did, they flew us up to New York, they rented out a billboard in Times Square, and they literally played the Iron Tribe story in Times Square. So that's us in Times Square watching the Iron Tribe story. And it's amazing how you can take events like that and leverage it into the ability to speak on your topic, to write on your topic, to blog on your topic. So since winning that award, we've spoken to crowds in Phoenix, San Francisco, Boston, San Diego, New York. We've won the CRM Elite Company Award. We're written up in Forbes and several other publications. And all that lends itself to brand credibility. And it's even spilled over. Here I am at a fitness conference in Fort Lauderdale earlier this year, giving a presentation. Jim and I chaired a marketing event in Nashville last fall. And then a few weeks ago, got to share the stage with Dame and John out in Phoenix and speak at InfusionCon again. Phenomenal experience, 2,400 people in the room, energy through the roof, and was able to give away that title of Ultimate Marketer to the 2013 winner. He's actually here this morning. Casey Graham drove in to watch us speak, so appreciate that, Casey. It was fun to be able to give that to a friend. But hung out with Damon afterwards, got to talk a little bit of fitness industry and Iron Tribe. You think I got a deal? He was out. But what that's led to is not only speaking nationally, but locally as well. Birmingham Business Journal, speaking at their Healthiest Employers banquet, the Rotaract Club, but not even externally. I'm a big believer of speaking internally, so doing workshops for your customers. Here I am, I think I was doing a goal setting workshop in this one. And you know, a lot of times people will think, well, why would a gym do that? It's because I want to equip them with every single tool they need to change their lives. And again, I want them to look at us. I want them to look at Iron Tribe. I want them to look at me as the expert in my niche. And I would challenge you to do the very same thing. And that's why I wrote the book, because there's an old adage, publish or perish. And I believe it's true that when someone's looking at, you know, do I want to partner with this guy and take the Iron Tribe brand, they need to know that I know what I'm talking about and that I'm the guy that they need to partner with. So the book, excited about that being released. So, in conclusion, what we've done, we focused on teamwork, we focused on relationships, we've marketed, but make sure that we're marketing with information. We have believe in things, not only what we're doing, but bigger than ourselves and give back, and focused on expert status in our niche. So I will leave you with one of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs, and he said, the ones who are crazy enough to think they can change the world, those are the ones that do. Thanks.